Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to this special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. It is that time of the week again to count down the 10 hottest cards of the week. The key driver for cards going up in value again this week is the Modern Horizons 2 set, like it has been over the last few weeks. However, you are starting to see some influence from the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms previews creeping in this week as well. More on that in just a moment. Quickly before we get into it though, just a fast reminder. If you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pick up Modern Horizons 2 products there or any number of other things that they have on their website. Remember, if your order is over $100 or it consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Also, whenever you use the promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated, so thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Tainted Spectre. It goes up to 26 to 538 for a 72% increase. This is a good time to let you know how we compile our top 10 every week. We look at two pieces of criteria. The first is an increase in percentage value of these cards, and the second is a true increase in sales online. So with that out of the way, let's talk more about this card here. Tainted Spectre does see a tad bit of Commander play. You could look at some of the things that have been going on recently and think, well, maybe this card could get better in Commander. For example, Modern Horizons 2 did contribute a few pretty good reanimation cards. Also, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms has some cards that let you reanimate or play a spell from your graveyard, but I would say nothing more than you would normally see in a new standard set, so I don't really think that's why this card's moving the way it is right now. But it did dry up in the secondary market online this week, which is why it's jumping up. It is a reserve list card, and this could be the beginning, perhaps, of a reserve list buyout. Although we have not been seeing a lot of targeted buyouts on random reserve list cards like we were seeing a number of weeks ago. So if it does turn out that this is a buyout, I do think it's just a one-off. Number 9 is Chatterfang Squirrel General. This goes up 276 to 1275 for a 28% increase. We've talked a lot about this card in the top 10 videos, but this is the first time it made the top 10. This is a very popular commander coming out of Modern Horizons 2. Also, it is in the 99 of many decks there, but now it is showing up in a modern build too, believe it or not. There's a Simic Sacrifice build, many times running 4 copies of this. Number 8 is Tezzeret Agent of Bolas from Mirrodin Besieged. It goes up 413 to 1999 for a 26% increase. In Modern, this is showing up now in the sideboards of Urza's Kitchen builds. That is a very popular build in this new meta, and I think that's the main reason this card's moving as much as it is, but there's some other outside reasons that could be pushing it as well. In Legacy, this is in a new Dimir version of Painter's Grindstone. It's also seeing some more Commander play in Garth One-Eyed builds. And Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, don't forget about that set, it was just previewed completely. There is a big focus on the treasure token mechanic within the set. We haven't seen the Commander decks previewed yet, but we did see the front-facing Commanders. Even one of those creates treasure tokens, so there is a chance that that deck has even more support coming. It is possible that maybe this card does get better in the future, at least in Commander, if nowhere else. Number 7 is Exploding. It is Engineered Explosives. Fifth Dawn goes up 403 to 1946 for a 26% increase. Ultimate Masters goes up 444 to 1527 for a 41% increase. Modern Masters goes up 458 to 1525 for a 43% increase. And Double Masters goes up 483 to 1574 for a 44% increase. This has been a solid Modern sideboard card for a very long time, but with this Modern shakeup bringing more people into the format, or existing players in a lot of cases either need to upgrade or completely change out what they were playing in Modern, which means a lot of people are scrambling for new decks. And cards like this, your sideboard staples, they're going to get a lot of attention on them, and they could be going up in value, especially this one being colorless. It is going to cross over into a whole lot of different decks very easily. And aside from that, the Modern meta is just in a very good place to have this card in your sideboard right now. Additionally, this does get a good amount of Legacy play and a little Commander play. And number 6 is another Modern sideboard card, Kataki War's Wage. Now, this is going up for similar reasons as the previous card, but you might have noticed that many of the decks performing well in this new Modern meta are leaning harder on artifacts. This is good against builds like Urza's Kitchen, Hell's Kitchen, Affinity, and Hardened Scales, plus others that are out there. On top of that, this does see a little Vintage play and some Commander play, but again, it's really Modern pushing this price point. The Modern event deck copy goes up $394 to $1050. That is a 60% increase. Modern Masters up 822 to $15.99 for a 106% increase. And Saviors of Kamigawa goes up 1176 to $21.38 for a 122% increase. Number 5 is another good modern sideboard card, Crime and Punishment. It's going up 1351 to $16.99 for a 389% increase. Now this is yet to be reprinted, which is why it's moving faster than the previous 2 cards we saw. And you will find this in the sideboard many times in the popular modern Yawgmoth Sacrifice deck, also in the sideboard of the Rock there, and it can see a tad bit of commander play too. Number 4, this is a big Modern Horizons 2 card seeing play in a lot of different places. Murktide Regent. It goes up $14 this week to $31.99 for a 78% increase. Now in Modern, you're going to find this in a lot of popular builds like Is It Spells? Is It Delver, which is a very similar deck, but of course it's running Delver of Secrets. Is It Control? Is It Phoenix? This is also getting a lot of Legacy play already. You'll find it in Is It Intimer Delver there, as well as Jeskai Standstill, Dimir Death Shadow, sometimes 4-color control or Esper control as well, and this can see a little commander play too. Perhaps it may be seeing more play in the future as well, since Adventures in the Forgotten Realms is lending support to the Dragon Tribe. One of the front-facing commanders also can create Dragon tokens, so maybe there's even more support to come. And number 3, similar story, Endurance, another Modern Horizons 2 card that is seeing a lot of play. It goes up $16.86 this week to $39 for a 76% increase. Now you're going to find this one in modern builds like 4-color Elementals, Yawgmoth Sacrifice, sometimes Amulet Titan, Crashing Footfalls, or Soul Herder as well, and other decks in the format too. In Legacy, this is already in many Snow Miracles builds. It's in Knight of the Reliquary and more there. In Vintage, you'll find this in Sultai Midrange. And in Commander, it's in a lot of different builds there as well, both old and new. Number 2 is Shizo Death Storehouse from Champions of Kamigawa. This goes up $19.85 this week to $45.78. That is a 77% increase. This is starting to show up in modern Rakdos midrange builds, which are very popular as well in this new modern meta. It's played alongside Shinka the Blood-Soaked Keep. Both of these cards are going to support Ragavan Nimble Pilferer there. Big difference though between this card and Shinka the Blood-Soaked Keep. This one did get a reprint where the other one did not. You can find a foil copy of this in the retail mystery boosters, and even though there's not an abundance of those copies out there in the marketplace, it's still better than nothing. Again, Modern is the key driver for this card going up in value, but it is a great commander card too. Many times you'll find this in Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow builds and much more there. And finally, number 1 is Aluren, going up $37.66 to $125 for a 43% increase. Now, this is also on the reserve list like our number 10 card, but there is a reason this one's moving. First off, it is in Legacy Aluren builds, of course. Those decks have gotten some support from Modern Horizons 2 in the form of Endurance and Grist the Hunger Tide. This also has seen some increased commander play since Modern Horizons 2 came out. You'll find this in Lannis Cryptozoologist and Ave Progenitor Ooze builds many times. But the real reason there's so much attention on this card this week is because of a card from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms that was previewed. Here's the card on the screen. It is a Serac the Archlich. This combos directly with Aluren. It is debatable whether it will show up in Legacy Aluren anytime soon, but I would expect to see those 2 cards playing in Commander if nowhere else pretty soon. Also, too, keep in mind, the reason Aluren did jump as much as it did falls back to the fact that it is on the reserve list. It is hard to find in good condition. We know it's not being reprinted. It doesn't take a whole lot to make cards like that jump up. Alright, that's going to do it for our top 10 hot cards this week. Remember to come back this weekend for our regular episode of the Market Watch, where we deep dive into everything that's happening in the secondary market. Until next time, though, hey, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.